Welcome to Honeybee, real stories of love, lies, and betrayal, where every truth stings. Let's begin. My name is Wilson, and I can tell you this. Sometimes, one moment is enough to tear apart everything you thought was real. The night Rachel and I went to have dinner with her family was supposed to be joyful, a milestone in our engagement. Instead, what I heard her quietly admit to her mother was nothing short of shattering. It wasn't just betrayal. It was a horrifying realization that the woman I had chosen to spend my life would have been treating me as nothing more than a fallback plan all along. Rachel and I had been together for 2.5 years by the time I proposed. 2.5 years of what I truly believed was love, steadily growing stronger, a partnership being built step by step. She worked as a schoolteacher, and I had a stable career as a systems analyst at a regional bank. We had met through a mutual friend who thought our personalities might fit well, and they were right. Our connection developed naturally. Conversations turned into dinners into weekends together, and slowly, without forcing anything, a real bond took shape. Within months, I knew I wanted a future with her. Rachel was warm, witty, and patient in a way that made people feel ease. She had a nurturing spirit, especially with children, and she often talked about her dream of having a big family one day. I found that dream beautiful, and I picture us raising children together, giving them a home full of support and affection. My feelings for her grew the way night falls, first gently, then all at once. We never rushed into living together. She shared an apartment with her college roommate near her school, while I rented a modest one-bedroom closer to the financial district. It wasn't a long drive between us, about 20 minutes, and our arrangement worked. 3 or 4 nights a week we stayed together, switching between her place and mine depending on work and social plans. We had keys to each other's apartments, kept clothes and essentials in both places, and had blended our social lives enough that it felt like we were already sharing a life, just without the marriage certificate. When I decided to propose, it wasn't impulsive. I spent months planning, thinking about timing, the right location, and of course, the ring. I chose a classic solitaire with a 1-carat diamond. It was expensive for me, a real stretch financially, but it wasn't about the money. It was about giving her a symbol that matched the seriousness of my commitment. The night I asked her, early October, I was nervous but ready. When I knelt down and opened that ring box, Rachel's face lit up exactly the way I'd hoped. She said yes instantly, threw her arms around me, and cried tears of joy. In that moment, I believed, deep in my bones, that I had made the best decision of my life. The following week, once the initial celebration calmed, I suggested we visit her parents to share the news in person. Rachel had always emphasized how much her family's blessing meant to her, and I wanted to show respect. She was excited at the idea. Her parents lived about an hour outside the city, in the same house where she had grown up. I'll admit I was nervous. I wanted to make a good impression. I thought about how I should dress, what I should say, and how to show them I was serious about cherishing their daughter. The drive was filled with Rachel's cheerful chatter. She spoke fondly about her parents, their strong 30-year marriage, and how supportive they'd always been. Hearing her speak that way reassured me. I imagined her parents would be just as genuine and kind as she was. When we arrived, everything was exactly as she had described. The house was warm, filled with family pictures, little mementos, and the kind of atmosphere you only get in homes where love has lived for decades. Her parents welcomed me with smiles that immediately eased my nerves. Her brother, his wife, and their kids were also there. The whole family dynamic was effortless, teasing, laughing, sharing stories. They asked me about my career, my goals, my family, never in a judgmental way, but with genuine interest. And as they told me about Rachel's childhood, I felt grateful for the upbringing that had shaped her into the woman I loved. Throughout dinner, she kept looking at me with that proud little smile, like she was happy to show me off as her fiancé. Dinner was a feast. Her mother was an incredible cook, and the meal felt more like a celebration than anything else. As dessert time came, Rachel's mom asked her to help in the kitchen. It seemed normal, just a moment between mother and daughter, so the rest of us stayed at the table, chatting. A few minutes later, I excused myself to find the bathroom. Rachel's brother gave me directions. It was just down the hall past the kitchen. As I walked by, I heard Rachel and her mom talking. At first, I didn't pay attention. It felt private. I used the restroom quickly, but on my way back, I couldn't help but overhear more clearly. And what I heard froze me. Her mother's voice, calm and direct, asked, "So, what are you going to do about that other man you brought home last month, now that you're engaged to Wilson?" I stopped cold in the hallway, my chest tightening. What other man? My ears rang, but before I could even process, Rachel responded. She told her mother, without hesitation, that she was just managing me, that I was essentially her backup, that if this other guy asked to marry him, she'd drop me instantly. Her words hit harder than any punch could. She spoke about me like I was disposable, like everything we'd shared, the laughter, the nights together, the proposal, meant nothing. In that moment, everything shattered.